Good morning, y'all. Peace and blessings. Once again, this is Hussein Muhammad with another video. And so here's what's on my mind. I just got finished watching the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. I didn't catch it in full time when it actually aired, so I went back and watched it. I've seen a lot of people talking about how they were basically disappointed in the fight. How they were mad, obviously, that Jake Paul won because nobody wanted Jake Paul to win, which kind of makes sense because for the most part, no one likes Jake Paul. But all things considered, the fight kind of went the way it should have went. Insofar as Tyson's health is the reason why, is part of the reason why he performed the way he performed. Um, he did have a health scare leading into the fight midway through his training camp, which caused the fight to be postponed anyway. So he spoke about it also. He had to have multiple transfusions of blood. He lost weight. He had there was a break in his training, So combine that with his age, he's 58 years old. So the expectation that he was going to move the way he did, at least in the Roy Jones fight, that was kind of like that's wishful thinking. Okay, I was of the belief that Jake Paul probably wouldn't have lasted as long as he did because Jake Paul is fighting at a weight he's not naturally known to move at. Think back to Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz in their first fight. Conor McGregor gassed in the first fight because he was moving at a weight that he wasn't comfortable moving at. And that's how Nate Diaz, who moves at that weight normally, was able to beat him. He tired him out and then got him in the rear naked. Um, Tyson, however, like Roy Jones said it during round two and later on in the fight, he lost his legs. He came out accustomed to the way we used to see him come out in the first round, just basically blasting Jake Paul. And to Jake Paul's credit, he did what he was supposed to do: stay on the outside. Don't try to lock up with Mike Tyson. Don't try to go blow for blow with him. But once we saw that Tyson got to a point where he just wasn't moving like we expected him to move, that was the beginning of the end. And that's really it. Like, Tyson unfortunately fought and showed his age. There were moments where you saw some bits from him, some good punches from him, some good footwork, but I did notice a lot of rhythm stepping from Mike Tyson. A lot of unnecessary throwaway footwork that he normally wouldn't use in his fights, even dating back to when he was first fighting. Um, that's my take on it. Like, for everyone angry at how Tyson fought, you're really angry more at Jake Paul winning. And it also doesn't help that what we saw in Tyson's training footage didn't translate to the ring. Sometimes that happens. Like me personally, when as someone who's trained, when I hit pads and stuff like that, when I go over technique, sometimes when I'm sparring, it doesn't translate. Like sometimes I don't bring that same thing in when I spar. And this also happens in real time fighting as well, on a professional level. We ain't talking about in the street or anything like that. We're talking about on a professional level, because in a professional fight, you can prolong the action. You can start, stop, and reset as you see fit, provided, of course, you don't get knocked out or rocked or anything, which would lead to a knockout. Tyson unfortunately just got to a point where like I said, once his leg was gone, that was it. And Jake Paul was good for the whole fight. He did take some good shots. He did get punched in the neck by Tyson, but ultimately, like once Tyson stopped moving, that was it. And as a boxer, you know, your legs are important. If you stop moving throughout the course of a fight, you become a sitting duck. You become a lame duck. And I will give credit to Jake Paul, because at the end of the day, Jake Paul knew going into that fight that if he was to knock out Mike Tyson, that's worse than winning the way he won, which was unanimously. So if you just knocked Mike Tyson out, people would be looking at him like, you know, people already looked at him like, you beat up an old man, like, come on now, that ain't the Mike Tyson we remember. So at the end of the day, like, you still beat up an old guy, you still beat up an old man, like, and we all know that if this was Mike Tyson in his prime, Jake Paul would probably still be unconscious in the hospital right now. But you know, that it is what it is. Everyone expecting Jake Paul or Mike Tyson to come through and knock him out, and like this is prime Mike Tyson. You gotta be real with yourself. That wasn't the case. Okay, we were hoping for that, but it's like there's wishing, hoping, and then there's reality. And the reality was Mike Tyson wasn't going to win this fight. Okay, so that's what's on my mind. I'll come back later with another video. I gotta get back to work. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace.